Mi hombre es Kyia, because I wanted to continue to make it clear, yes, we are Espanol. And I have realized I have some bilingual fans. So I want to continue. Si Espanol, just poquito comment. Gracias. Subscribe. Thank you. Gracias. Sí, sí. My real life according to me. Just Kaya. Okay, so we're going into episode 11, and we're calling episode 11 Confessions. My cheeks are hurting from smiling so hard because I can't make this up. It's just okay. So you seen 10, right? Where yeah, we gonna party. We gonna party, not party. We gonna party, and it's grande, huh, to the limit. And however, for this party, you gotta confess, tell all. So he fixed him up a good one, remember, and then he confessed about Stanky, and then I went on and confessed about Cassius and just the kiss. And then he proceeded on. He's like, I know you got more. And I'm like, no, I don't. And then he's like, well, I said, you do, huh? And he's like, yeah. And then I was like, well, who? And then it got to Patricia. I'm like, huh? And he's like, but before I tell you the details, you have to admit that after I tell you this, you got more to confess, right? Mm-hmm, I sure do. So I'm thinking, yeah, I could come up with something. Maybe I talked to a guy, or maybe I got a number. Maybe I could think of something maybe like that. But I've never, the level we're talking about and what we're discussing. No, I don't. But okay, yeah, I do. Go ahead, Patricia, let's go. So he went on to say, remember the night with the bugs, and she got in the shower and all that stuff? And yeah, I remember. And then he said, so at a certain point, I had went upstairs. I guess I was over the evening. I went upstairs. Yes, it was the understanding that she was leaving, and I guess he was still down there. And as I was upstairs saying peeing, or I don't know, whatever. And then in that miss, she said, come see me later, or something like that. He said. And then she went home. And then remember that night we made love, we had sex, and I needed to sleep my ETOH out. So after the sex, I went on to sleep. And then he's telling me right after I went to sleep, and he knows once I'm sleeping after the ETOH, I'm out. So he said right after that, he went over to Patricia's apartment and asked her, did she have any cigarettes? And she said no, but she goes on to say, you can go get us some. And he's like, well, do you have any money? She's like, no, but you got my card, right? And this is what he's telling me. And he's like, oh yeah, I forgot I got that. So he said she didn't have any cigarettes. So he said that she said, you can go get us some cigarettes and come on back. So he said at this point, he said, okay, I'll be back. So it's in the, I don't know what time of day it is. So he said he leaves. He said first thing he went to is the ATM, because it's like the next day, because remember it used to be 23. I mean, it was $300 at a daily limit from the ATM, and now it's 24 hours later. So he said he went to the ATM, got the $300 out, then went to wherever, got them some cigarettes, and then he said he went back to her apartment. And he's telling me, like, in this detail, go on, keep hitting that pipe. Go on. I'm good. Every once in a while, he'll pass it to me. Go on, go on, go on, go on, suck that lunch. Don't cry. Don't tell me. So and then he said he got back and he said he was sitting down and bought her a pack, bought him a pack. And then he said he's sitting there. She asked for her ATM card back. He said he gave it to her and she stated she was going to change her PIN number. He said, yeah, that's good or whatever. And he said as he was sitting there, and they smoked a cigarette or whatever, she started going down on him. I don't know. He might have said they had more conversation. I don't know. So he said at that point, they started trying to, and this is what he telling me. I promise you. What was that movie? I'm sorry, I'm not sorry, New Jack City. But my mind goes as these. I'm saying these things. I love movies, and my mind goes to like these movies. Remember New Jack City? He was sucking on that glass pipe. Who was that? Was that Dookie? Pookie? Remember? No, it wasn't Pookie. It was his best friend, the other guy who started smoking that glass. Nino's sidekick. I think wasn't he on Cosby Show? Okay, so anyway, my mind goes to movies like that, and as I'm telling this story, I'm thinking of he's smoking on that glass pipe, and okay, continue. Continue. So he said she, going down on him, and but he said he couldn't get it up. He said, I said, yeah, because didn't we? And I said we just had sex. I said, did you even take a shower? He said, that is the definition of all those memes that are they memes, those things they put up. And okay, my mind just went to the other movie. Remember the movie Poetic Justice? When they're in the beauty shop, old girl's beauty shop, and they're sitting in there in the waiting room and they're talking to the girl in the red dress, and they talk about, yeah, that's her. And then so they trying to get all swallow her, and then girl said, yeah, just remember, every time you kiss him, you taste him. And blah blah blah, and lady said you had to get, so that's how my mind worked just that instantly with me describing that. That's what I thought. Okay, so anyway, that is the truest definition of that. He said he ain't washed his ass or nothing, and we had just had sex. So he said she's going down, but he couldn't, it wouldn't come up. And then he said she was persistent. It finally worked. I promise you, he's telling me like that. This is how, yeah. Let's be honest. Tell me, and I'm just listening. I'm like, okay, you need a light, you. And so, he said, so finally got it up, and they had sex. And then this is what he said. He said, so right after it was done, he told her, he said, so I gotta go. Remember, he got in pocket. And he said he just pulled his pants. And I said, he telling me all of these details, like his shoes, tennis shoes are on. He said, just pull the pants down. She did that, finally got him up, and she did that for a while. And then she got on top, had sex, and then he said, I gotta go. So he said at this time, he's telling me all of this, huh? Not here. You don't come. Huh? What else? Let me sit back. And every once in a while, he would say that. He said, you got more to tell, right? I'm like, mm-hmm. Yep, I got more. Yep, mm-hmm. So then he goes on, he says, so he got up and he left. He said, so he left and he went and did what he went and did. And then he said, I don't know if I was at work. He said something where she came to the house And this was right after that. And I wasn't there. I don't know if she was watching or whatever, but he said she showed up at the house and was like, "You owe me $300. You took my money, and you owe me this money." He said she was saying, and he's like, "Oh," he said, "I thought you changed your pen or something like that." He said, and then he said, but actually he just owned up to it, and then so he said he didn't say it this way, but then as he went on to describe, he had to be like a little like, as long as he kept her, whatever, she wasn't bringing it up. So, okay, so he said that happened. And then, so now he remembers confession day. So now he's passing the glass back to me. Crackle, crackle, crackle. I was like, I really don't. I said, I haven't cheated. And he's like, well, tell me something, whatever. So I said, okay. I said, so it was this guy at Long Beach Community, kind of look a little more thuggish. Yeah, Jordan looked a little more thuggish. He worked in the EVS. We called him. We didn't. They call him EVS now. Back then, we called them janitors because everything is politically expressed correct now. But they was janitors then, and he was a nice looking brother. He almost looks like a in between, like a Suge Knight, but not quite that big. And he looks like Suge Knight. And who's the Jordan, or is that Adam? Okay, Suge Knight and who Warren G, and who was the guy? Warren G and the one who was saying the deep part is that baritone. Warren G, and his name won't come to me. My mother took care of him before he passed away. Warren G. Okay, it'll come to me, but you know who I'm talking about. So he's kind of a mixture of that. And so the only thing I could express to him was we kind of was flirting back and forth with each other, but he knew I was married. And so the only thing, what I confessed was, we would talk every once in a while, like on the phone or whatever, but nothing. And then he kind of let it know, and then I kind of flirted with it. And then one time, in the cafeteria, we had lunch or something. And then I said I went over his house, and just chilling and wasn't even drinking or anything, just kind of talking. And then I just wasn't feeling him like that because actually I wanted to, but his breath was stinking. So I couldn't. But the Lord once again, and I went over, I thought we was going to have sex, but when we got close, his breath stank, and I couldn't, and I was like, oh. So it did that. Solely because of that, it didn't happen. And he was like, wait, what, huh? So it didn't happen because once after that, yeah, he had to kiss me. And after that, oh no, I can't do stanky breath. I don't, you got stanky breath, you got stanky balls. You got to. How you not gonna clean this and you clean this? But you gotta, if you, and I don't even care, but I can't get past this. I didn't tell him that at that time. So, okay, and that's gonna come up again later. Probably in this episode. Okay, so I expressed to him, I shared that with him, not to the point to where the breaths think that's why we didn't have sex, but I shared up to him to the point where like we ate and we talked, and I did go over his apartment, but we didn't have sex, and he couldn't believe that. He's like, "There's no way." I said, "But we didn't," and then he's like, "Well, there's no way." And I said, I don't know what to tell you. So now the glass is going back to him. So I said, you got more, huh? And then he's like, yeah, but don't you got more? And I scraped up for that one. And I said, no, I mean, what do you, I said, I promise you I have not cheated. So by this time, he's over this conversation because, um, whatever. Maybe the stuff's running out or whatever, but he's over this part of the conversation. So that evening happened. And so, of course, even though I started it, and I got what I wanted out of it basically, but of course he spiraled and he has to continue it on, and whatever money he's getting, he's going to do whatever he's doing or whatever, right? So, okay, so that part happened. We're only at 15 minutes. Okay, so let's go back. So he confessed that. So let's go back to Cassius now. Let's say after this happened, let's say it's a week later. It's not that much long later, but it's a week or so later. So I'm drinking hey, that's what I do. He used crack, I drink ETOH. What a So I'm drinking or whatever. I'm off and whatever. And Cassius is off. I know of this. And then Kenny's supposed to go to work, but it's one of those moments where he's not on a break, but confession night all happened. Um, I'm feeling a little different towards him. But in the same sense, I know what he's doing. He's not doing it as much, but he is. But not looking pathetic. He's kind of back on track with work and not as bad, but I know he's doing it. But now we see each other differently. hmm So this is okay. So he comes home from work or something. I just remember is that he was in his uniform. So I'm assuming he came home from work. And I already had ETO late level. I'm feeling good. Of course, Mary J. Blige on, and he shows up, but he ain't supposed to be here. So okay, whatever. And I already got my plan in motion because in my mind, because I don't know. It's like I'm good. I mean, like, and we just see each other differently. I still love him, but okay. So he showed up and he ain't supposed to be there. And actually he was in his uniform, I remember, and I was like, "What you doing here?" And I had already told him I had to go to work. I already had my plan in motion. I already told him I had to go to work, but for whatever reason, on this specific day, he comes home. And so Marion, ETLH, and feeling good. He comes in. He's like, "I thought you were supposed to be going to work. You drinking like that?" Because I don't drink like that when I'll have a little drink or something before I go to work, but not Marion. And I said, "Oh, I do." So at this time, I had to be at work at 3. It's about 1 something. I'm already feeling good. He messing up my plan. I already set this plan up. So, and I don't know how this particular day, this is the first time he has ever done this. Showed up like this when he's supposed to be able, first time he's ever done this, right at the beginning of my plan. So I was like, "Oh wow, I forgot," or something. So I go upstairs and I get in the shower, and I was like, "Dang," and I already know what I'm gonna do. So I got in the shower, and then and then I get dressed like I'm going to work. He downstairs, and I get a bag, and I put some clothes, regular clothes, in the little bag. Remember, we're in the townhouse, and we second and third level, and there's a balcony off of each one, but you can walk through them, and it's no like really privacy or anything. So remember where old Stanky slept in that room, off that door is a balcony, a sliding door. So I put my little duffel bag for my plan outside the door right there. I don't know if he was watching me or not. I don't think he was. No, he couldn't have been. He couldn't have been. Okay, so I put the bag out there, and I'm dressed for work, and I'm like, I'm bored. He's like, "You are not going to work like that." I said, "Yes, I am. I gotta go to work." And then I kind of, I don't know, whatever. I said, I gotta go. And then it's about an hour later, so let's say it's like 2. Remember, I could walk right up to work. And at this point, I for some reason I know I wasn't driving the car. Oh yeah, I wasn't, because he, drove the car. He wasn't even supposed to be there, and the car was already gone. I was just gonna walk to work. So I'm leaving. He looking at me like, this bitch ain't going to work. There's no way. So he's like, okay, bye. And remember, we do trust each other, but he didn't reveal some things, and I revealed whatever, the thing I revealed, but he's still thinking there's more to it than that. But anywho, so now I do this on the very first time I ever have a plan. That very first time he shows up and has never showed up like this, and didn't go to work, and shows up because of a feeling, I guess, or whatever. So, but I'm going to work. He's like, okay. So whatever happened, I closed the door, and then I act like I was walking, and I walked around. I don't know where I went. But the apartment complex, you could come back in certain ways. But I remember coming back in, and remember the third floor. It's not really privacy. It's a balcony, but it's connected to all the apartments. But that's just your little area. You can go out there, and then the stairs going down. So I made my way up on the other side, came all the way up to the third floor. We and got my clothes. Yes, I did. I went and got that bag. Yes, I did. And then at this time, to get my plan in motion, yeah, I kind of changed. Hey, do what you got to do. I was a girl on a mission. I'm like, I'm getting accused of being a cheater. I'm being cheated on. I have not cheated. I'm doing all this. Why? You're doing everything you want to do. Why? Even though I don't want to, but I'm tired of being home alone. And Mary, me and Mary, we going through it. It's no more drama. We got some things. Come on. So I changed my clothes, put the scrubs on. Yes, right there. Put the scrubs in the duffel bag. Left the duffel bag there, and then walked back, because at this time, I don't know how long it is later. Then I walked over to Cash's apartment. He was expecting me. We had already, I had already planned this out, and okay, we've been here recently since, so old Pat want to make it very clear to me. And actually, I think her insecurity is kind of running him away as well. And because of her insecurity, it kind of sparked. Honestly, it kind of sparked because and then we just everything, and the stars came together. Now I'm thinking about, remember Raw, the moon is shimmering off the. Anyway, so yeah, he's expecting me. So I changed my clothes, and I come on in. He's looking good as always, and he already been drinking, of course. And he sit down, I sit down. He's like, "What we doing?" And I was like, "Hey, let's just have fun, you know." So at this point, we go out. We go out. We have a nice little, time, just eating, and we're on a different level, and we're on a date. We're on a date. Yes, we are. We're on a date officially, but unofficially. Yeah, because I'm married. And no matter what, we still have our belief in Christ, and that still is what brings us, ultimately what anchored us together from the beginning. And we still do talk about our faith. And at this time, yes, I am married, and yes, I was the pursuer and setting up this date. And yes, he quickly, yes, reciprocated, and okay. And then, oh girl, she the one. I'm like, okay. So anywho, so all of the stars were aligned. And we're here. We have a nice time. We're not as silly, and we're just enjoying each other's company. So we have us a couple of drinks or whatever, and then we go back to his apartment. I haven't even told him Kenny's there, or Kenny was there when I left, because from his understanding, you know what? I didn't even mention. Matter of fact, now that I think about it, no, we didn't even talk about old boy. So after this, we go back to the apartment. Yes, we're in the living room. And I don't know, so long later, now this is the first time I'm dressed a little, we just got back from our date, and we're sitting a little cozy, but we're just sitting there. And his roommate comes in or comes downstairs or whatever. He's like, "Wow, okay, you guys look nice together." And we just kind of giggle or whatever. He's like, "Oh man." Cassius said, "Oh man, it ain't like that," or whatever. And then kind of got up and fixed all three of us a drink. And then we started playing cards. And then it was a nice, all three, just us three hanging out, playing cards and whoop de whoop and having our drinks. And at this time, me and Cassius, we're flirting and okay, yeah, I guess. Roommate got the hint, I guess, and left. And then at this time, I remember him walking me up to his room. He had my hand, walked me up to his bedroom, and then we go in there. And at this time, he had a nice drink. The room was already, straightened up, much better from the first time. Maybe a candle, little burning, nice little scent. It was all good. Okay, so go up there, and then we just start kind of talking, laying in the bed, talking, being a little silly, but not way up there on that level, enjoying our little drink or whatever. And then as the night goes on, we're kissing and fondling and doing all this good stuff. A very nice, enjoyable evening so far. But he ain't getting a wreck like power to people. And I'm like, I know, and we okay, but it's still fun. Okay, whatever. And whoop to whoop. And then we get in the shower and we replay that scene. We start being a little bit more silly and we start joking about that. But this time we're naked in the shower. We're really enjoying each other's bodies. Like, nah, I ain't never did nothing like this with Kenny. I don't even, yeah, it was very sensual. It was very sexual. It was just nice, nice. And still he ain't giving me power to the people, but okay. But he a good 8 and 9 easily. Not even power, but just with Uncle Sam, just whatever you want to call Peter, just chilling. He a good just chilling. He a good 7, good chilling. But okay, I ain't got the power yet. So this is really bad. So we get out the shower, but we are really enjoying each other's bodies. So we get in the bed and we're doing this, that, and we're naked and we're wet and we're clean and we're fresh and I'm wearing long braids at the time and having a real good time and just enjoying each other's body and we never had sex. He if he would have got erect we would have, but it was even more fun than that, and we really enjoyed each other's bodies like for hours, for hours, and I do mean like oral both ways as well, but still, and just every inch of it. And okay, enough. Wow, tingle, tingle. Just thinking about it, tingle, tingle. Okay, so I, because remember I work 3 to 11. So by this time, I think it's by time all of this goes on and I wake up, it's about 2:30 in the morning. I didn't mean to be here that long. I remember I worked 3 to 11. I was supposed to be home by 11:30. And yeah, almost baby, 10 more minutes and I'm done. 10 minutes, I promise. Okay, thank you, love. 10 minutes. So remember, I was supposed to be home by 11, and it's 2:30 in the morning. I jumped. I was like, "Oh my God, Cassius!" And then he's like, "Adam, Brown, get your little shade booty out the way." And then and he's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Oh my God, look at the time." And he's like, "Is he home?" I was like, "Oh yeah." And I said, "Okay." And then he, bye. Had a great time. I really had a good time, and we just ended it. I got dressed, and then so it's 2:30 in the morning. So I snuck back up to the third level. Remember, the duffel bag is still there. Hallelujah! Thank you, Jesus. I changed back in my sweats. My hair's a mess. I'm a mess. Smell like, even though I'm fresh. No, yeah, I am fresh, but I don't look fresh. Put my scrubs back on. I was so tired. I didn't even care trying to fix my hair. And then I go back down to go to the front door to come in. And then I open up the door. Guess who's sitting right in the living room? It's 2:30 more. I said, "What you still doing?" And he's like, "I'm waiting on you." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." He's like, "Where you been?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm quick. I promise you." I wasn't expecting him up. I'm quick. I said, "Oh, after work, I went and had some drinks with some of the girls from work." He said, "You did?" He said, "So you went to work?" I said, "Yeah." And one of the girls, I really, on the spot. I could, I probably, I said one of the girls at work wasn't having, not a good time. And so we just went out and had some drinks, and I didn't realize. He said, "Well, I went up to your job." I said, "When? Tonight? Last night? When? Huh?" He said, "They say you wasn't there, that you had called off." I said, "Oh." I said, "Well, to tell you the truth, I had to brownie. Mm-mm. I said I just wanted to go hang out with the girls, and I thought you was gonna be at work, and I just wanted to go hang out, and that's that. And I didn't want to hear your mouth, and you go do what you want to do. So I just wanted to go hang out, and I didn't want to, tell you." So he looking at me, and he's like, "So how'd you get home?" I said, "My friend." And then he's like, "Well, what's your friend's name?" I said, "You don't know her." "I'm tired. I want to go lay down." "I want to lay down. I'm good." I said, "You don't know her?" And it did. My daughter would use my computer, so I'm gonna end it there. But this episode 11. Basically, so the rest of that evening, he kind of let it go because he didn't know where I was, and okay, but if he didn't think I was cheating before, he really think I am now. But I still technically had not had intercourse with anyone else, technically. Whew, that was a nice night. Tingle, tingle. Okay, come back for episode 12. I can't wait. My real life according to me. Just Kyia. Woo, woo. woo, woo, woo. Adios. Come again. Espanol. Please subscribe. I love my brown people. I love my black people. I love us all. I really do. I'm working on others. I really am. And you'll see why after we go on and on and on and on and on to the break of what? Dawn. Okay, until next time, episode 12. I can't wait. Maybe a couple more episodes, and then we're gonna go into season cuatro. cuarto. Thank you. Let's always I inspire. Encourage. And C, challenge each other. Woo, woo. Love you. Into episode 12. Okay, I gotta go. Bye. Someone's at my door too. Bye-bye. Thank you.